Hello everyone, today we're going to learn how to make these pretty motifs. For this we need 2 color yarn, crochet hook 3.5 millimeters, a yarn needle. Now we are going to learn how to make them, and I'm also going to show you how to join these motifs. So let's get started. Now we need to begin with a slip knot. And we chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now you need to slip stitch in the first chain that we started with. You have your slip stitch. Now you chain 1. And now into this ring that we have, we need to work 8 single crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So we have 8 single crochets into the ring. Now you need to slip stitch into the first one, the first single crochet that you started with. Now after you've done this, you need to chain 10. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now you have your chain 10. You need to go ahead and slip stitch into the next single crochet that we made. So that's right here. This is what you have. Now you need to repeat that. Chain 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now you go ahead and slip stitch into the next single crochet. This is your slip stitch. Again, chain 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you go ahead and you slip stitch into the next single crochet. So this is the pattern you need to follow till the end of your row. I have completed my flower. Now you need to have 8 petals, the chains that we made, 8 of them. Now we go ahead and join our next color. You need to work a slip knot and join it to one of the petals that you have. Like this. Now you chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you work 1 slip stitch in the same petal. Like this. Now you chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You slip stitch into your next petal. Now you chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slip stitch into the next petal. Now you chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this time you slip stitch into the same petal. So we need to make these points every alternate petal. So you have a point here, then you don't have one here, and you have one in the next one. So you need to go ahead and do that. So again, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now in the next one you just work a slip stitch, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now in the next one we'll be working this corner. So you slip stitch, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and slip stitch in the same petal. So this is what you have. You will be working corners in every alternate petal. So you have a corner here, you don't have one here, you have one here, you don't have one here, you have one here. So you need to finish this row and I'll show you what to do next. I've completed my row and this is the last chain 5. We have 4 corners here. Now we need to go ahead and join this to the first chain that we created. The first chain, and now we need to slip stitch into your corner. Okay, and then you chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to start making this picot here, the 3 picots that we have. So this is the first one, you chain 3 and you slip stitch into the first chain. So that's right here. Now for the next one you chain 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4. You slip stitch into the first chain. Next one you chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. Slip stitch into the first chain. Now we have 3 of these. Now you need to go ahead and make a slip stitch into your chain space, that is your corner. Right into that you work a slip stitch. So you will get this. Now after that you chain 2, 1, 2. Now we have another picot here in the pattern. So after you chain 2 you chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. Now in your third chain you have 2 chains, 1, 2. In your third chain you go ahead and you work a slip stitch. Now you chain 2, 1, 2. You work a slip stitch into the next chain space. Directly after your corner, the next chain space, you work a slip stitch into that. Now you chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. You work a slip stitch into the next chain space, that's right here. Now you chain 2, 1, 2. You work a picot, so you chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. Into the third chain you work a slip stitch. Then you chain 2 again, 1, 2. This is the same pattern that we made here. Now after you chain 2, you work a slip stitch into your corner chain space. like this. Now after that, chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, slip stitch into your first chain, then you chain 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, you slip stitch into your first chain, then you chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, you slip stitch into the first chain, now you have 3, 1, 2, 3, you go ahead and slip stitch into your corner chain space. Alright, and then you chain 2 and you repeat the pattern that we started here. So after you chain 2, you need to make a picot. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch into the third chain, chain 2, 1, 2, slip stitch into the next chain space after the corner, then you chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, slip stitch into the next chain space, and then chain 2, 1, 2, and then you work your picot by chaining 3, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch into the third chain, chain 2, 1, 2, slip stitch into your corner space. So we've reached here again. So you need to follow the same pattern that we've done throughout the row. I've completed my row. Now you need to go ahead and slip stitch in your slip stitch of your earlier row. That's right below the picot. It's right here. It's one slip stitch. You chain 1. You cut your yarn. I have already cut my yarn, so this is what we have here. Now there are various ways of joining the motifs. You can either stitch them, that is how I like to do it. So you have your yarn needle and your yarn, so right in the corner and you attach it to the corner of the other one. From the upper side. And then you tie it. And you cut your yarn like this. So you go to the next motif, that is right here, the next picot. So you joined it in one. Now you go ahead and join it in the next one. If you join it in this manner, you will have a lot of ends to work with, but if you do this, you have the shape of the motif which can be clearly seen in the pattern. So I like to work it like this. This is the second one. Now you don't join the chain 5, you join the next picots. So you would be joining all the picots together like this. It's just a knot and you keep going ahead, but there is a different way of joining them. So for that you need your yarn, whichever color you would like to work with. You join it with a slip knot to any of the corners. You work your first corner here. Okay. Now once you join your yarn, you chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you slip stitch in the same stitch that we started with, the same corner. Then you chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You slip stitch into the next picot that you have. Now you chain 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Slip stitch in the next picot. You skip this chain, the chain 5 that we have. Slip stitch in the next picot. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Slip stitch into your corner space. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Slip stitch in the same space. So all your corners will be having a chain 4 here. Now after you've done that, you chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you slip stitch into your next space, the next picot. Chain 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Now you slip stitch into your next space, your next picot space, leaving the chain 5. You need to skip this. Now you chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 and then you slip stitch into your corner space. You need to continue this throughout the row. I have completed my row. After you've done that, you need to slip stitch in the first corner space that you have right here and chain 1 and you cut your yarn. So this is how you give a border edging to your motif. Now once you have this to your border, you can join it with a braid join, or you can make 2 of these together and stitch them together in each stitches, or you can either join them with a single crochet join. But I personally prefer joining them like the one that I showed you before, because if you do that, you will still have each and every edge showing on your pattern. If you just keep stitching the points together, that is the picots together, you will have your edges, or you have this way of joining it. So that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel for more crochet patterns. Thank you.